Hi, welcome to For Flow with Chloe, where today I'm bringing you a yoga class for the new moon in Virgo, which in the UK is on the 3rd of September. This is also a general Virgo season class, as we are Sun in Virgo and will be on the 3rd new moon in Virgo as well. So we're going to have both energies of lunar Virgo and solar Virgo. But Virgo, it is your season, so happy birthday to any Virgos out there. I am a rising Virgo, so I'm a fan. I'm just going to read a short piece on Virgo season and the Virgo new moon from the Astrology Almanac by Emma Howarth that I've been using through the whole of 2024. So we've got tune in to Virgo season, bring on the back to school vibes. Virgos like to be organised, so they like back to school. Create a morning routine. Virgo knows that the way you start your day shapes the rest of it, so why not make it more magical? Create a routine that celebrates you and your priorities, whether that means 6 a.m. yoga or green smoothies or journaling over tea in bed. So, yoga is a very Virgo friendly thing, let's just say. Get organised. Channel Virgo's ability to nail a to-do list by finding ways to make life run more smoothly this month. Invest in a new diary, start filing your receipts, order a recipe box delivery, tidy your desk, hire a cleaner, whatever it takes. Be more discerning. Virgo's perfectionist side is more about discernment than it is about pickiness, often very misunderstood by others. Why settle for less when you could reach for the stars? Try applying a little discernment of your own when deciding what and who to prioritise this month. Put in the work. You can have amazing ideas and endless big dreams, but nothing will happen if you don't put the graft in. Embrace some of Virgo's get it done spirit and start something you've been putting off. Health conscious Virgo. Virgo urges all of us to leave the excesses of the summer behind as September hits its stride. Think about what you can add to your life rather than what you can cut out. More fruit, more vegetables, more sleep, more enjoyable ways to move your body. What better way than with a For Flow with Chloe yoga class? And then we've got a little bit on the new moon, and I also pulled some tarot cards prior to this class, and I thought they were quite fitting, so I'll also share those with you. Virgo new moon. A new moon in practical, hard-working, health-conscious Virgo is the cosmic reset we all need as September begins. Now is the time to decide what you want to make happen in the final part of 2024 and set an intention to go get it. New routines, healthy living, and hard work that pays off all look lit under this new moon. Then we've got intentions for your sign. What needs doing and expect. Do what needs doing and expect results. Aries, get organised, get healthy, and activate a plan. Taurus, share a passion project with the world. Gemini, start a project that takes you closer to home. Cancer, tell someone how you really feel. Leo, work hard now for a lucrative future. Virgo, work towards your biggest goal and know it'll be worth it. Libra, forgive someone to set yourself free. Scorpio, reach out to someone with the power to change your life. Sagittarius, take a big leap towards your greatest ever success. Capricorn, commit to learning more about something that enriches your life. Aquarius, find your focus and go for it. Pisces, shape up your life to show someone you care. Lovely. And I'd like to suggest also, being as Virgos are so good at making little lists of their goals, that you write down possibly some intentions for this new moon. And when we're doing some of our heart opening within some of our poses, that you imagine shining out those heartfelt wishes to the new moon. Just a suggestion. You do you though. So the cards I pulled before I started recording is the Eight of Pentacles, a super Virgoan card. Look at this guy hammering away, super busy, working away, hammering out his pentacles, working towards a goal. He's really refining his craftsmanship, making a mastery of his areas in life, his goals. He's determined and he's really refining his craft. And that is very Virgo-y, because they do work hard, they really commit to their goals and they put in the effort. But also Virgo is the apprentice, and they like to work towards mastery. And this Eight of Pentacles card is about working towards mastery. We then get the King of Swords. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which is an air sign, and the Swords cards represent air signs. And Virgos can be very logical, and they can be accused of being a little bit stuck in their mind and their mental energy and their thought process. But they are very good at decision making, and so is this King of Swords. He doesn't get overswayed emotionally about his decision making. He stays neutral and he stays in his clarity about his decision making. We also have the Page of Cups. So this is often a little offer or a little creative endeavour or a little wish. It's quite an emotional one, something heartfelt, a little heartfelt gift. So this is about maybe a little opportunity coming in that's going to really emotionally entice you. But as it's come up after this King of Swords and this Eight of Pentacles, we want to make sure that our hard work isn't going to get sort of overthrown with childish impulsivity about achieving this little offer. We need to use our discernment, our Virgoan discernment, in relation to this little offer coming in, so that we don't make any impulsive decisions that are going to mess it up for us. Next card was the Knight of Wands. So we have got Mercury, the planet Mercury, which rules Virgo, in Leo at the moment, and it's just finished its retrograde and is stationed, ready to go direct in the sign of Leo. And the King of Wands is a fire card, and Leo is a fire sign. So this is often about an intention or a creation charging forward. It can also be communication, and Mercury is the planet of communication. But as it's come up after these three cards, about us working towards a goal, using our discernment to make decisions, and a little sort of tantalizing thing that makes us happy sort of coming in for us, a little wish maybe coming in. This suggests that it's going to be good, it's going to go ahead, and it's going to be really creative, and it can go somewhere, it's got legs. And this might be a really passionate offer coming in about this. So this is very suggestive of any kind of manifestations that you might be making around this Virgo new moon, something that you've been putting all your graft into, all your work into, that you've had to make maybe some balanced decisions about, really, really, charging forward and going for it, and it being passionate and successful. We also get the card Garland. So this is from my Seasons of the Witch deck. So that's the season we are in. Currently is the Lammas season, our harvest season. And so we get Garland. There is magic in the weaving of unity. So things coming together, some healthy growth. And as we're under a new moon, maybe some healthy manifestations. If we put them out to the universe, maybe we can weave our magic into receiving them. We then get grapevines. Call on your desires, as this is the time to ask and receive. So again, another really positive card to put out your intentions, really go for it with what you want, and hopefully by that full moon at the end of the month, we shall receive. So, I've got a nice little class for us. Virgo is very much about sort of detoxing and detoxing worries from the solar plexus chakra, which is this sort of gut area here. So we're going to have lots of twists, and we're going to have some heart opening to open those heartfelt wishes up to the universe, out to the universe, and shine that heart space and all those intentions out. Also going to have lots of balancing and grounding poses, because Virgo is an earth sign. It's a mutable earth sign, so it has flexibility. So we're going to be trying to do some balancing and grounding whilst inviting a little bit of flexibility into those balancing poses. So we've got a lot of tree poses with a little bit of twist and stretch rather than static. So some play in the tree poses. And yeah, that's about it. So let's get on the mat and get started. Okay, so coming down onto your mat, and we're going to come onto the knees. Take them a little bit wider, about as wide as the edge, knees pointing towards the edges of the mat. And just slide our chest down and bring our head to our mat. Grounding in our child's pose. If you'd like a little bit more space and a little bit less pull in the backs of those hips, you can stack your fists and rest your head here for a little bit more height. Either way, connecting that third eye chakra to the ground or your fists. Taking some breaths, grounding in, slowing down that mind, connecting that third eye chakra to the mat as you just take some deep inhalations and some big exhalations. When you're ready, we're going to walk the hands over to the left and just look under that left armpit. Should feel a nice stretch through that right shoulder and up the lateral side body. Walking the hands nice and slowly over to the other side, to the right side of the mat. Looking under the right shoulder. Inhaling, exhaling. Feeling that nice stretch up the other side of the body. Beautiful. Bringing it back to the middle. Coming up, and we'll bring those knees together. And bring your hands to heart center in your kneeling position. When you're ready, we're just going to hinge forward at the hips and see if we can twist and tap our elbow onto our left knee. And come back up and twist and tap the right elbow to the right knee. And we do one more each side. Twist and tap. Rise up and twist and tap the other way. Beautiful. Coming onto your hands and knees. Just going to go through some cat-cows. Grip into the mat nicely with those fingers. Vinyasa Bandha. Inhale, look up slightly, allow the back to arch. Starting to warm up that spine. Push the ground away, rounding the spine in your cow. Inhale through to cat. Push the ground and exhale into cow. Flowing at your own pace. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling into your cat. Exhaling into your cow. Maybe you want to do some little circles here over the wrists. We'll come down deeper into those hips. Maybe you want to circle the head and the hips together as you arch and round. Lovely. And we're going to raise up the left knee and make some big circles with that knee, opening that hip up. Lovely. And when you're ready, switch sides, going around that 3 times. And place that knee back down and switch it over. Nice big circles, opening up that hip. And switch the direction. Really gripping that mat with the hands the whole time. Beautiful. And pull back into the child's pose again. And just scooch, come down onto your elbows. And scooch the chest and chin onto the mat in your Ashtanga Namaskara. Pull the chest through and come up into your Sphinx. It's beginning to open up that back. Maybe take it up one. Pull through a little more into your Cobra. And send the hips back into your child's pose. Pulling back through that Ashtanga Namaskara. Up into your back bend of choice. 2 more. It's rippling and sliding forward and back. Some nice body waves. Beautiful. And then the last one we're going to pull through, up and push up into your plank. Roll onto your side. And come down onto the elbow and forearm. And we're going to do some hip lifts in our sort of clam shape. So bending our knees and then lifting the hip up and straightening the leg and bending it to close back down. Up, straighten the leg, down, bend the knee. Push up and kick that leg, lifting the hip up and back down. 1 more. Pushing up, supporting with that forearm, lifting that hip and back down. Beautiful. And roll over. And we're going to do that same thing on the opposite side. Coming onto that forearm, weights on the hip on the side, bent knees. Lift the hip, straighten the leg, and close it down. Lift the hip, straighten the leg, and close it down. 2 more. Lovely. Roll back up onto hands and knees, making sure those wrists are underneath your shoulders, your knees are below your hips. I'm going to twist the side, open that arm up and scoop it underneath the left arm. Bring the head down to the mat. You can look to the side or just place the head on the mat in your twist here. Walk the fingers to the edge of the mat. And that thread the needle, opening up the other shoulder. So you're feeling a nice stretch through that left shoulder. Lift the left arm up and see if you can reach up and back and twist that arm to grab the opposite thigh if you can. Otherwise, stay where you are. Unwind, plant that left hand back on the mat and slide the right arm out. I'm going to do that on the other side. Open that arm up to the sky and thread it through that needle underneath that right arm. And you'll thread the needle. Tiptoe those fingers to the edge of the mat. Feeling a deep stretch in that right shoulder. Fabulous. And if you want to open that arm up again and reach back behind, bending the elbow and seeing if you can deepen that twist by grabbing the opposite inner thigh. In this bound, thread the needle and open that arm back out. Bring it to the mat and push yourself back up to hands and knees. Now shift the hips back, slide the hands forward so hips are over the knees, allowing those armpits to really sink down, sink the chest down. Deep dip in the spine in our puppy pose. Melting that heart chakra down to the mat. If you can, drop to the chest, otherwise bring the forehead down to the mat if possible. Going as deep as we can. Breathing our way down to the mat. And when you're ready, slide those hands back and roll back up to kneeling. If you can, clasp the hands in a fist behind your back and push that heart open. Open that throat chakra if you want to, leaning that head back. Maybe you'd like to be more upright. Go where's comfortable for you. If your hands, your knuckles can reach the ground here, maybe flatten out your hands, so rotate the palms down behind you and push up, opening that spine a little deeper. Option to hang the head here or keep the neck more upright. If you have any blood pressure issues, you may want to keep the head more elevated. Lovely. I'm going to keep those hands clasped and just bend forward and up and sway around, really opening those shoulders. Lovely. Shake it out. Maybe flick those fingers a little bit, wait for those forearms up a bit, and do some wrist rolls. Beautiful. Coming forward, left foot steps forward into a lunge. Pull it back straight. Point those toes to the sky, hinging at the hips, nice flat back in your half Hanumanasana. And lunge it forward, sinking those hips down, stacking that knee over the ankle, and then pull it back. See if you can fold a little here, waking up that hamstring and bending back into your lunge and straightening into your hammer. And bending forward again, elevating that chest, bring the hands to heart center and twist and tap that elbow and twist and tap that elbow the other way. Come back to center, open the arms and twist. Option to elevate that back leg and be more active here. And lower. And bring the left hand inside the left foot and twist open with that right arm to the sky. Option to elevate that back leg again to make this more active. And windmill the hands down. Kick up that back leg and see if you can pull that foot towards the glute. Lovely. And release it. Hands or fingers come down to the mat. Shuffle that left foot out a little and turn it at an angle pointing away from you. Push that knee open, coming in to your lizard, pushing that hip open. Look over the shoulder if you can, supporting yourself up on that left hand. Kick the leg up, see if you can grab the leg here and twist and pull it towards you and open it out. Twist and pull it towards you and open it back out, kicking that foot back away. Pulling it in, letting it go back out. Fabulous. Windmill that arm back down. Allow the foot to land back down and lower down onto your forearms. Really sinking into that hip, driving those hips down towards the mat in your lizard. You can clasp the fists together and just prop the forehead here. And just breathe, opening that hip. Fabulous. And step back onto the palms, onto the toes of the right foot, and step the left foot back, coming into your plank. Really engaging the core here. Fabulous. Drop that left knee and step the right foot forward. We're going to come into that half Hanuman and lunge on the other side. So stacking that knee over the ankle, lunging. And exhale, fold. Point those toes up to the sky. And bend, stack that knee in that lunge. And straighten and hinge at those hips. Really lengthening that hamstring. Do be mindful, as this is just our warm-up. Don't go too deep too soon. Be careful with your hamstrings. One more straightening, and then we'll stack that knee back over the ankle. Raising up, bringing those hands to heart center. I'm going to twist and tap that knee. Bring it back to center. Twist and tap that knee on the other side. Fabulous. Opening the arms up. Bringing the right hand inside the right foot. Come up onto the toes at the back to make this more active. Beautiful. Lower that knee. Switch hands to the mat. Twisting, opening the right hand up to the sky. And elevate on those back toes again if you want to make it more active. Windmill that hand back down. Bring that right hand back inside the right foot and reach back, kick up that left foot, pull it towards the glute if that's accessible to you. Otherwise you can just be kicking with the intention of grabbing. Fabulous. Let that foot go, shimmy out, shuffle out that right foot and turn it out. Bring the hand to the knee and push that knee open, looking over that right shoulder. Really pushing, driving that pelvis down towards the ground in your lizard. Kick that foot up and see if you can grab. Again, this can just be the intention and kicking it towards. If you can grab the foot, lever it towards the glutes, twisting and release and pull it in and release and pull it in and release. Let the foot go, windmill the hand down and come down onto those forearms again in that nice deep lizard. Again, option to clasp those fists and bring the head down. Taking some breaths here. Wonderful. Come back up onto the hands. And leaving your foot, shuffle that foot in a little bit towards your right hand. And come back onto the tiptoes of the left toe. Push up into an active lunge, gripping with your hands on the mat. See if you can step that foot forward and come into this sort of squatted shape. From here, bring the hands together, push the knees open with the elbows and sink the bum down to the mat, keeping a nice flat back in your yogi squat. So I'll just show you from the front as well, really pushing those knees open. You can be doing this higher also if you have tighter hips and can't bring the bum all the way down. Fabulous. Drop the bum however you want to, down to the mat. Close the legs together. Sit up with a nice straight spine, engage that core. Lift the feet up, tapping, tapping. Palms are forward and opened out to the sky. Tapping those tiptoes up and down. Engaging that core, balancing on that bottom. And if you're ready, lift both legs up into your boat. Can also be supported by grabbing underneath the knees and pointing those toes up towards the sky. You can also straighten and do supported boat here. And release those feet down to the ground. Just going to place our hands behind the sit bones with the fingers pointing forward and sway the hips and the knees from side to side like a pair of window wipers. Swish, swash, swish, swash. Lovely. Now bring the right foot across to one edge of your mat and see if you can cross the left foot over. So I'll show you from the front as well. So I've just bent this knee with the right leg and crossed my left leg over that knee. Now see if you can shuffle that foot out until your knees are stacked on one another. You might need to lift the bum and just like have a bit of a shuffle around, holding on to the feet here. You can stay here in this little background with your cow face legs. Or if you want to go deeper, you can also do your cow face arms. So raising the left arm up to the sky, bring the right arm behind and see if you can bend that elbow and bring the back of the hand between the shoulder blades. Lifting that left arm right up to the sky. See if you can reach back and grab your hands. If you can't get the fingers to meet, maybe grab onto your t-shirt as far as you can. A few breaths, grounding in here. Beautiful. Release the arms, roll those shoulders a little, unwind the legs, and window wipe it out. Swish, swoosh, swish, swoosh. And we're going to put the left foot on the opposite side of the mat and cross the left foot over it so that we're coming into that cow face on the other side, or shoelace, whichever you want to call it, stacking those knees on top of each other, grabbing hold of those feet, really shifting those hips. Lovely. Just remain here for a moment. Option to stay here with the arms, or again, lift the right arm up to the sky this time, sweep the left arm behind, bend that elbow and shuffle that palm, the back of the hand between the shoulder blades, and reach back with the opposite arm, finding that bind. And breathing, sit nice and tall. Fantastic. And unwind, uncross those legs, and again, swish it out. Beautiful. Now keeping those feet about as wide as the mat, lift the bum and straighten the legs in a fold. Grab opposite elbows. I'm going to sway from side to side. In our ragdoll, you can bend the knees here. Make sure you're hinged at the hips, not rounding in the back like so, so hinging at the hips. And just sway from knee to knee, swinging those elbows. Beautiful. Raise the head so we're in a bit of a half fold for a moment. Now walk the feet out a little wider if you can. Plant your left hand in between your feet on the mat and twist that right arm up to the sky and bring it down and swap places and lift the left arm up to the sky and keep twisting and switching arms. Should feel a nice opening in the inner thighs. Nice rotation in that spine. Fabulous. Shimmy the feet back in a little bit again, back to about the mat's width. Put a soft bend into your knees and take your left hand and thread it through and behind your left foot. See if you can lift the right arm up and behind and grab those hands together. Now twist the torso towards that left knee and look up and see if you can find this bind. Can just be the intention reaching and see if you can meet the arms, or you can just be with the arms straight. And come back to center. Lift the head a moment. And we're going to bend those knees again, reaching the right hand behind the right thigh again on the opposite side. Lifting that left arm, bend the elbows and see if you can shake hands with yourself. Hello, self. Pleased to meet you. Straighten that leg, that right leg out. And as you straighten that right leg, rotate the torso and twist the torso and look up to the sky if you can. Beautiful. And release. Bend the knees and come all the way up to standing. Heel toe those feet together. Standing nice and strong with your feet a comfortable distance apart in your mountain pose. Really engaging those thighs, dropping those shoulders away from the ears. Nice and slow breaths. Grounding in our mountain pose, nice and firm and strong. When you're ready, we're going to lift the left leg and just stand on one leg with our knee at preferably a right angle, can be lower. Wherever you are, maybe you want to bring the hands to the hips and just give that ankle a rotation. Go both ways. If you're finding yourself a bit wobbly, find one unmoving point on either the floor or directly ahead to find your focus and your drishti. Lovely. I'm going to swap legs and do the other foot. Just playing with our balance. We're going to come into some balance poses in just a moment. Lovely. And lower that foot down. Take a breath. And when you're ready, we're going to lift up that right foot again and step it all the way back up on our toes in our lunge. Point your fingers directly forward, like so, clapping those hands together. And when you're ready, we're going to twist open to the right and clap the hands shut at the front. And twist open to the left and clap the hands shut. Take those hands behind you, puff the chest. Fabulous. And when you're ready, we're going to rotate that back foot and pivot it, keeping the front foot where it is. Just rotating that back foot open to the front, so it's pointing to the front of the mat, the long edge of the mat. Open up those arms in your warrior two. Sink a little deeper, making sure that knee is stacked over the ankle, and open that side body, reaching that left arm up to the sky as the right one comes and rests gently on the back thigh, and come back. And then we're going to go over this way. Arm can rest lightly on the inner thigh as the arm comes overhead, or you can slide all the way down to the ground here. Lovely. In your side angle. See if you would like to, if you can bring the overhead arm down behind and bend it, and then come a little lower and bend that front arm at the elbow and grasp the hands together behind the back and look up. Fabulous. Bring the hands down to the mat. Pivot that other foot so both feet are facing the long edge of your mat. Fantastic. Take both hands, clasp them behind your back and lower that head. In your wide leg forward fold. Opening those shoulders. Beautiful. Bring the hands back to the mat and rotate that. Rotate yourself so that you are facing the short edge of the mat. Again. Fabulous. And pushing up. Fabulous. And we're going to find that high lunge again, pointing the hands forward. And we're going to twist open to the right and clap the hands shut, and twist round to the left and clap the hands shut. Beautiful. Take those hands behind in that fist and puff that chest open. If this is not accessible, you can also be grabbing opposite elbows here. Beautiful. Rotate that back foot so it's facing the long edge of the mat, finding that Virabhadrasana again. And when you're ready, reverse it. And back to your warrior. And then reaching down into that side angle again. Nice long line up the side body, making sure we're not dumping the weight into the bent leg. Reaching behind and see if you can find that bind again. Look up to the sky if you can. Fabulous. Walk the hands back round again, finding that deep forward fold again. Option again to clasp those hands again. Remember, if you want to do opposite elbows or your fist clasp. Breathing deep. Fabulous. Shuffle, 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 shuffle those feet together and roll up to standing. Fantastic. We're going to come into some tree poses, some Virgasana poses. So we're going to be standing on one leg in just a moment. Just take a moment in our tree pose, our mountain pose, sorry. And roll up onto the toes and back down. Up onto the toes and back down. Give those ankles a little bit of play. Bring your hands to heart center. Grounding in. Fabulous. Open your arms out into like a T pose. Then bend the left arm and send it behind you. And see if you can make this hand appear round on the other side of your hip. And if so, grasp onto it. So I'll just show you that from behind. So my arm has come down, bent across my lower back, and I twist my wrist to grab the hip. You can just have your hand behind the back here and resting if this is not accessible. If it is, go for it. And then bring the other arm across the chest and hug across the chest. And then look over your left shoulder in this little twist. Fabulous. I'm going to open back out into that T shape. We're going to bend that right arm, send it back behind us. Hello. Try and grab that hip on the other side. You might find one side is more accessible than the other. And hug those shoulders with the opposite arm. And look over the right shoulder. Fabulous. Unwind, give your wrists a shake. And we're going to come into those Virgasanas. After a little side bend, so bringing the arms up overhead, and side bend the other way as well. Bringing the hands down, I'm going to lift up my left foot, rotating that knee out, grabbing hold of the ankle of the foot. This can be lower down. You can just turn out the leg here and support the foot against the ankle or the calf muscle, or you can lift it higher and place it on the inner thigh. Nicely rotated out with that knee, hands to heart center, grounding through that foot. Again, finding that drishti, that point of focus. Breathe. Beautiful. And if you want a challenge here, we're going to go for our bent tree. So we're going to lift up the arms and slowly side bend the arms towards the bent knee. And come back to center. Lovely. See if you want to go deeper. At any point, if you want to come off of one leg and roll that standing ankle out, feel free. So if you want invitation to come into your half lotus by grabbing the foot and placing it on the opposite hip crease. Left arm behind, as we just did in our twists, and grab hold of the toes. Fabulous. And lower it down, shake it out. Woo. Give those ankles a little rotate. It's a lot of work on the calves and the ankles. And we're going to repeat that on the other side. So lifting the right leg or right foot, off the mat. Finding where your tree is. Finding your dristi, hands to heart center. And see then if you can lift those arms up. And bend to the side in your bending tree. Really focusing that dristi, embrace any wobbles. Lower those hands down. Invitation to come in to that half lotus tree. And taking that hand round, see if you can grasp the toes. Beautiful. And lower and unwind. Maybe stretch out the toes. So bend the knees and really flex those toes. Really stretching those out. Maybe bend the toes back. And have a little roll out here. So pushing that ankle forward. Back bending the toes and pushing that ankle forward on the other side. Fabulous. Lots of work on those tootsies there. And step it out wide. About a leg and a half distance apart. Turn those feet out. Keep that back nice and straight. So tilt that pelvis in. So tucking that bum under and pulling the pelvis forward. And sink into the hips. Bring the hands to the knees. Allow the chest to come forward a little. And twist and push. Open those knees. Rotating those shoulders and pushing those knees apart in your twisted goddess. Lovely. When you're ready, walk the feet in a little. Turn the feet out a little if you need to, and lower back into that yogi squat. Beautiful. And we're going to come into our Skandasana. So you can have a balancing Skandasana like this with the toes pointed up to the sky. Or you can just bend that knee and lunge to the side with the hands touching the ground. And we're going to turn that foot out on the other side and Skandasana this way. You can come lower and have your balancing Skandasana here again. And you're rotating round. Come down for a moment into your Balasana, your child's pose. Fabulous. And rolling again across the ground, coming up into a little back bend. Sending those hips back again to that Balasana. On those forearms, rolling and scooping that chest along the ground again. And push it up into your plank. Really engage that core. Now we're going to tip onto our side. This can also be on the forearm in your side plank. So side plank of choice. And now see if we can come into our side plank tree. So bending the knee, rotating that hip open and bringing that heel to the inner thigh. Windmill the arm down, come back into your plank, rolling onto the opposite side. So supporting ourselves on the right arm this time, open that arm out, keep those hips elevated, bend that knee, open that hip out in your side plank tree. And lower it back down into your plank. Lower those knees and come back into your Balasana. Again, on those forearms, arching that spine, rolling that chest along the floor, coming up into your Cobra or Sphinx, and then coming back onto the knees. Just take a few breaths here. I'm going to do a little bit more heart opening here. Bringing that mental energy down into the heart space, connecting the energy of the mind to the rest of the body, opening that spine up, so balancing out all those chakras. So rising up onto the knees. You can get a towel or a blanket and put that just underneath the knees if you need to. You can also roll the mat over, double thickness that mat if you need to, if you have a little knee sensitivity. Otherwise, bend those toes under. We're going to reach, push the hips forward, bring that right arm back and see if you can tap your right heel. Bring the other hand, push those hips forward, see if you can tap the other ankle. If you can, fabulous. We're going to really push those hips forward, so taking the hands and pushing those hips forward here. Opening that heart space, so really lifting that rib cage and that heart chakra right up. And see if you can grab the ankle on either side. Really powerfully pushing those hips forward, really squeezing the glutes as you do this. And allow the head to hang back if you don't have any kind of vertigo issues or blood pressure. And then see if you can let the heels go down onto the backs of the feet. Option to walk the fingers up the calves a little to deepen it. Option to bring hands to heart here. Or you can push the hips forward and rise up. If you can bring them to heart center, then just rise up by neutralizing the spine. Wonderful. Lowering back down to kneeling. Take a few breaths. Really opened up that heart chakra there. Sending out our most heartfelt desires to the new moon. So coming and sitting on the sit bones and just allowing the legs to go straight, pointing those toes up to the sky. Hands can be on the mat, either sides of the hips or on the thighs in front of you. Taking some deep breaths, making sure you're really nice and tall in that spine. When you're ready, we're going to bend the right knee and make that sort of tree shape again with the leg by bringing that foot to the inner thigh. Lift the hands up to the heavens and then hinge forward, leading with the crown of the head forward, and see how far you can come down here. Option to bring your forearms or your hands down to the mat to support here, otherwise breathe all the way down. Maybe grab onto that foot. Stretching out that hamstring. Beautiful. When you're ready, roll up. Point that bent knee up to the sky. Grab the foot. Cross it over the left knee. Bring the right hand behind the sit bones. Lift the left hand up to the sky and twist. Bring that elbow down and hook it on to that knee that is crossed over. Maybe walk that hand out a little deep, a little further, and twist and look over that right shoulder if you can. If you're happy here, you can bend the leg of the left leg as well and bring that foot towards the hip of the right leg and keep twisting in your full Lord of the Fish. See if you can slot and slide a hand up to the elbow through that hole that you've created in your leg, and then lift that back hand and shake hands with yourself again. Happy to meet myself again in this sequence. Maybe look over the shoulder the other way, so you get a nice stretch in this shoulder. When you're ready, bring that hand back behind you and slowly unravel. Sliding both feet forward, back into your stuff pose. Give your toes a little wriggle. It works hard for you today, standing on one leg a lot. And we're going to slide the left foot towards us, place it on the inner thigh. Reach those arms back up to the heavens. And hinge forward on your exhale. Leading with the crown, stretching forward. Again, if you need your hands to support you here, feel free. Otherwise, sinking over that leg, feeling that nice stretch through the hamstring and the lower back. When you're ready, slide back up. Point that knee up to the sky, grab it, cross it over the right leg. Bring the left hand down, back down behind the sit bones. Lift the other arm up to the sky. Hook that right arm onto the left knee. Coming into your half Lord of the Fish. Looking over that shoulder if you can, nice deep twist in the lower spine. And walk that foot or shuffle it round if you can. Obviously you can stay in your half Lord of the Fish. But again, bringing that foot towards the hips with the bent knee for your full Lord of the Fishes. And then posting that right hand through the hole. Hello. And lifting the left hand and seeing if you can shake hands with yourself. Pleased to meet myself. How do you do, self? Very well, thank you. I'm not mad, I promise. And bring that hand back behind to support. As you unwind, straighten out the leg and unwind. Beautiful. Coming back into that stuff pose. Option here to fold again. Raise those hands up to the heavens, look up, invite that lunar energy, and fold forward, hinging at the hips. Imagining you have a thread pulling your head through the crown towards your feet. And exhale and soften. Wonderful. Slide those hands back. Slide that bum forward, bending the knees. Put the palms out. Reach for your truest, most heartfelt desires. Grasp them, pull them down to the ground with you. Inhale and exhale. Fabulous. Coming into your plow, so just shuffle those hips forward again a little bit more. Make sure you've got room behind you for your legs to come up and over behind your head. So we're going to lift the feet and show them to the sky. Moonbathe the soles of those feet. And then pushing down into the ground with the palms. We're going to lift the hips up and grab hold of the backs of the hips and just allow yourself to sort of fold the middle while the toes keep traveling back. Point those toes down towards the floor until they meet the floor. Coming right up onto the shoulders to try and create some space between the chest and the throat. In your plow pose, nice and strong. Virgo is the sign of the harvest, and see if you can grab those fists and straighten out the arms here also to go deeper. So yeah, Virgo is a sign that celebrates its birthday during harvest season, when we are gathering all of the wheat and the fruits from the trees. And when you're ready, grab those hips and roll them back down to the ground. So the plough, obviously a symbol of gathering all of those beautiful harvest foods that have been ripening throughout the year. And that's what we want from our new moon manifestations, for them to be fruitful, for us to bring a great harvest of our dreams coming true. Lifting those knees up and crossing the ankles, and just give yourself a hug. Lift that head up off the mat if you'd like to make a little ball, and just rock a little, rolling that spine out. Beautiful. Lower back down and send those knees across to the right hand side, allowing that left arm to come straight, palm to the ground, and look to the left, down that arm if you would like to, or you can keep looking up at the sky. And rotate those knees back to the centre, cross the ankles the other way, and let them fall to the left side. Maybe you want to grab hold of those knees to help them come down to the ground, and look down your extended right arm if you would like to. All these twists, really detoxifying the gut and opening up that stomach area. Some say our second brain is in our gut. So rather than being stuck in our mind, making our gut decisions instead, uniting that mind-body connection, trusting our body's intuitive energy, uniting both the mind and the body. Virgo is big on the health of the body, but also the focus of the mind. So we want to bring both energies into union. Really working out any little worries we have hiding in that solar plexus chakra. Virgos can get quite worried and hold a lot of anxiety in that solar plexus chakra. When you're ready, stretch your legs out and get comfortable. Maybe get a blanket or some cushions, and come down to lie flat on your back, or any other comfortable position for you, preferably so that the spine is long. So you can have a cushion below the knees here, if that helps flatten out that spine a little more. Otherwise, just get comfy for your Shavasana. Fabulous, fabulous work today. Getting grounded, aligning our chakras, opening our heart, balancing that mind and body connection. Taking some deep breaths and letting those shoulders melt down towards the mat. Wiggling the toes and the fingers. Clenching the toes and the fingers and letting it all just go floppy. Relaxing. I invite you to stay here in your Shavasana, or you can roll onto your side and push yourself up to seated. I would like to thank you for practicing with me today and choosing for Flow with Chloe. Don't forget to like, share or subscribe to the channel, or leave a comment about anything you appreciated or enjoyed about the video. I'd like to say namaste and happy new moon in Virgo, as well as happy Virgo season. So happy birthday to all those Virgos out there. Bye.